Hello, my name is Blue Plays. With the conclusion of the first week of the LCS, LCK, I'll discuss how each team performed relative to how I expected, and what teams have been shining a lot more than I initially thought. But before we get into that, LS and Nemesis have created a tier list of every single champion in each role, how they rank in competitive play, and some notable standouts are the usual culprits such as Karthus, Soraka, and as expected, Gnar at the bottom of every list. But from what we've seen so far, this year's competitive champion pool seems quite good. Considering it's only been a week, we've seen a large variety of different champion picks. Hopefully it does widen a bit more, especially within the AD carry role though, as we appear to be seeing the same champions over and over. Kai'Sa, Samira, Aphelios, it seems to be the exact same matchups almost every game. Hopefully we see something different. Starting off in the LCK though, we had some really exciting games this week. We had Damwon vs T1, which was probably my highlight of the week, and this game turned out really close. T1 took down game 1, but then Damwon reverse swept them, game 1, 2, and 3. Though all these games were incredibly close, and it looks like T1 and Damwon are very close in power, just as I originally expected. Gen G had some pretty one-sided games this week. They destroyed most of the competition, and that's why they have resulted at the top of the ladder. Some more surprising stuff is DRX has already shown much more than I initially expected, and maybe this team doesn't deserve the lowest rank like I originally said they did. Hopefully we see more out of DRX this week, and yeah, I can't wait to see what comes out of this rookie roster. Now moving on to NA, this isn't my specialty per se, but I actually participate in a podcast called the C9 Fancast, where we talk about all the NA predictions and that, and it basically turned out quite a lot how we expected. We have 100 Thieves at the top with Team Liquid. We expected TSM to lose to 100 Thieves in the first game, and that turned out as expected. There was a bit of argument over CLG and Golden Guardians, but CLG do seem to be coming last at the moment, and I believe that was what I thought was going to most likely happen, because CLG does seem to have a quite weak roster, and I think Golden Guardians is a little bit underrated. And moving on to the second group, we have Cloud9 actually dropping a game. Now this is really exciting, because we initially expected Cloud9 to be one of the most dominating teams in the region, and seeing them drop a game may result in a more competitive year and a more competitive split, and I can't wait to see what happens. Obviously, Perks didn't show off as much as people expected him to, and I'm not sure what this means for the team, but hopefully they get their gears together, and hopefully they might still end up winning the lock-in tournament. I don't have any bias towards any of the NA teams, but I just want to make my tier list as accurate as possible. That is why I say I hope C9 wins. And finally, I want to talk about the Chinese split with the LPL. We have teams like Edward Gaming and WE at the top. Now, a big surprise to me is LNG Esports doing quite well initially, starting 2-0. I put this team closer to the bottom, and they've been showing that they are capable of doing performingly well. Then we have some of the less exciting issues that we've seen, such as Top Esports not doing too good themselves, and this is a bit of a concern considering they look so good in the Demacia Cup, and they seem to have dropped off a lot. I think the new support maybe doesn't work with the team too well. The playstyles seem to clash, but hopefully Top Esports can pull this together and somehow find their way back up to the top. A couple of the teams that performed a lot worse than expected is LGD, who were looking good in some of their games, and then everything fell apart, so hopefully they can fix these issues before the split continues. But overall, everything seems to be going as expected. A bit of notabilities are E-Star Gaming going pretty good so far, but considering this is the largest region, a lot of the initial games are very uneven, as weaker teams versus stronger teams, and it is very skewed to begin with. So hopefully we see this ladder even up more nicely soon, and we'll get some more accurate reads in the future. Now, the EU LEC split starts this weekend with the new season, and this is quite exciting, but recently we have heard some stuff out of Frostkern about racism within the LEC. Hopefully this can get resolved by the split, or as an ongoing process. And yeah, LEC will be exciting. I think the best teams to look out for are probably going to be G2 and Fnatic, as per usual. I think this region is very dominated by two teams. We'll see though, maybe this year we'll see some other teams that shine, especially not just in the main split itself, but in the actual finals, because what we saw last year was a lot of unknown teams, or known teams, but I mean, like, they weren't known to have been winning in the past, and they did really well in the split, and everything fell off, and it just became a G2 Fnatic final again. So hopefully, we see some exciting competitive region action this year in the LEC. And as always, my name is Blue Players, and if you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing. It supports me, and not only that, it helps the YouTube algorithm show you my videos more often, so you can stay up to date with all League of Legends news as it comes out. I also plan to do my own videos about me playing games and that, because I obviously spend a lot of time doing that as well, and I haven't really been creating any videos like that recently, just because the news videos have been doing better. But if you want to see those, please also consider liking and subscribing, and as always, have a great day.